So guys, I'm here with Luke. Luke has been one of our star students inside Client Capital. He's been inside for 4 months now and just hit his first 10K a month, which is absolutely incredible. Luke, why don't you introduce yourself, man? Let everyone know who you are and what you do.
Of course. So, hi, my name's Luke. I've been in the agency space, like Dan said, now for 4 months. And yes, it's the best decision I've ever made in my life. Before the agency, I had no sort of background in this space at all. So I was an engineer before this, and then before that, the British Army. So never anything that involves computers. So getting into this space was scary when I first started, but with the support of the group and the guys, it's been awesome.
What was it like transitioning from a hands-on role, no agency experience, and jumping into this space?
I mean, I thought it would be a lot more difficult than it was, to be fair. Like, I'd never really sat down and used a computer. I'm not very techy, like I said. I thought I was going to struggle quite a lot, and I did struggle. But anytime I had an issue, I just asked one of the guys, and it'd be fixed. Like, there's nothing that you can't solve because in the group there's all these guys that are there to help you, and they're at your disposal as such. They all want to help you because they've all been in your situation at some point. So yeah, I mean, it's a lot nicer for me than I thought it would be. Nice, comfortable sort of journey.
Definitely, man. Well, let's understand a little bit more about your agency then and how long it took you to sign your first client. So what niche are you in and, how long did it take?
Of course. So I started off in insurance, and from starting the inbound system with Dan, it took me less than 7 days to sign my first client. I think it was like 5 days to get my first client. And that felt amazing. I mean, like, just from taking money from someone that I don't know to a service that I'm just getting into as well, and being able to just collect money online, which is everyone's dream to do that. I mean, it just felt so real. It put it all into perspective of what you can do with support, with the right support and guidance, and when you actually apply yourself. Yeah, it was amazing.
Definitely, man, definitely. And you once told me a story about you celebrating deals with your girlfriend. Do you want to tell everyone that's watching this video how you would celebrate and why you had to stop?
Yeah, of course. So, I mean, we started selling. So when I first signed my first client, we would have a little drink. So there was a toast to that. I mean, it became so regular that I had to stop drinking because I don't normally drink. So I didn't want to get back into it because the clients were coming so frequently through.
Awesome, man. Awesome. And 10K a month, man, like that's an incredible figure, especially for someone, like you say, that has had zero agency experience prior to the last 4 months. Bro, what's next for you? Like, what's the big goal?
Big goal for me. So I'm going to stay in the agency space. I mean, I'm nowhere near where I want to be. 10K is just the first milestone for me. I mean, it's absolutely amazing, and I'm so happy. But 6 figures next, type of thing. 7 figures. I want to automate the agency, build another agency, then move into property. That's my goal.
Amazing, man. Yeah, I think you know what, like getting into property after agency is definitely the way forward, I tell you. But I want to understand a little bit more about like your journey with Client Capital then. So what would you say has been like the biggest thing that's helped you on your journey to kind of coming from zero experience all the way through to 10K a month?
It's the way. So the biggest thing for me that's helped me is the way that the guys like to adapt. So Dan and Zab will adapt to how you learn. So I'm quite a hands-on learner, being from an outdoor background. I learn as I do. I can't just watch a video and then do it. I have to have someone showing me. So they help me with that. So there'd be so many things that I needed help with, and that's what gave me that guidance because I have to, like I said, I have to be doing it while they're doing it, and they were happy to guide me through that. That was probably the biggest thing that aided me to make my first couple of clients.
Definitely, man. And we actually had a conversation quite recently, didn't we, in terms of like your situation. Do you want to tell the people that are watching a little bit more about my style, about how I kind of kick you into gear?
Yeah, of course. So when I was so I've recently moved niches, made some really good money in insurance, but I decided to move into waste management and pool cleaning. Signed my first client within 23 hours of launching the ad, which is mental. I mean, I've had a couple of down weeks in business. There's always ups and downs, but I didn't lose my motivation. I just lost track of where I wanted to be as such. And I jumped on a call with Dan. Literally, I texted him within half an hour. He gave me a time. It was like an hour later. It was mental. Jumped on the call with him, and it just kicked me into place. I'm the type of guy that never really gets told what to do as such, or gets told how it is, and that's the way I respond. I need to be told up front, and Dan does not mess around when it comes to that. I think your wording was exactly what I needed to put me on the right path again, and I love that sort of teaching because you need that sometimes. You need that push. You need someone to tell you, well, what are you doing? What you think. You need to knuckle down and crack on, and that's exactly what I needed.
It's tough love, right? But I think it's really important, especially when you're at that point where you're like doing 5K a month or 7K a month or whatever, and you just need that motivation, that push in the right direction, even if it means switching niches or switching, industries, whatever it is. Sometimes you just need someone like me to kick you into gear, bro. But honestly, we're very proud of your journey. Now, talk to me a little bit more about the network. Like, how has that helped you in your journey? Because I know obviously we've got over 150 people inside now, guys in there making 5 figures a month. There's also guys in there just starting out. Like, talk to me about how that's helped your journey.
Yeah, of course. So, I mean, there's so many different steps in that group. So when I first started, there were so many things I wasn't sure about. So, like Dan said, there's people in there at all different aspects of their business. So, have people that are just starting to making a load of money, right? And they're all industry experts in different spaces. So, whatever issues I had, there was always someone there to solve it for me. So I could ask any question that I was a little bit stuck on, and there's no such thing as a stupid question. The guy's never going to make you feel bad for asking something you think is silly because they've all been there, they've all had those same thoughts. So you'll ask a question, there'll be someone there to help you. The way that helped me was when I first started, there was so many things I need to know. Okay, and there's so many things I need to grow on, and I could ask what I needed and then get pushed in the right direction. And now, even though I'm at the next step ahead, there's still guys that are always going to be ahead of me.
Yeah.
Eventually, I'll catch them up. But I mean, there's
You
always there's guys that will help me now with the situation I'm in, and then I can help the guys that are just starting out as well. And that's just the beauty of Client Capital. That's so much support there, 24/7 for you.
Definitely. I think, you know what, like it's a nice balance. It's about having the right support network, but also having people that are going to push you, are going to take you to different heights. So I guess one question that I really like to ask, especially for people watching this video, they're likely watching this video because they're on the fence about, even one, either booking a call with Client Capital, or two, joining us, right? What would you say to those people? Because you've been in that situation 4 months ago where, you weren't actually 100% certain about joining. I remember our first initial call, right? What would you say now? Now you're doing 10K.
I mean, take the jump, definitely go for it because client capital isn't a risk. Business is about taking risk, but this is definitely not a risk because you're guaranteed to make your money back if you apply yourself and you've got that motivation to do so. You're going to get put on the right path and you're going to get put on the right track. And that was my biggest concern. I thought making a financial commitment to something that I didn't actually know anything about was something silly or a risk or something I should not do. And I asked all the questions that you'd normally ask, like, I need to take some time to think, but you really don't because it's obvious. These guys know what they're doing. They've done it for over 150 people, including myself. And it was definitely the best decision I made in my life. And I encourage you to do the same.
Amazing, bro. Honestly, like, we're so proud of your journey. I think you clearly are, like, we're not here to take credit. This isn't the whole goal of this interview, is to be like, oh, look how good we are. Honestly, we've helped you on your journey, but you have done incredibly well. You work super hard. And I mean, look, the hard work's paid off so quickly, right? It's because you're so determined, you're motivated. Aside from Client Capital, then what would you give as a piece of advice for people, that are just starting out in entrepreneurship and in business, and are a bit like, well, I don't have experience in this. Like, what would you say?
I mean, it's a roller coaster,
Yeah.
but it's a really fun one. I mean, you're gonna have days when you feel like crap. You're gonna have days when you feel amazing, and that's the fun of it. Because days when you feel like crap, you can realize all the days when you felt amazing. And I think not giving up, just getting on with it, and just realizing what your end goal is, visualizing that, and putting that in your head, telling yourself every morning, this is where I want to be, and this is who I'm going to be.
Yeah.
And once you strongly start to believe that, and you have that vision, you're not going to fail if you apply yourself. I mean, when I first started, I always knew where I wanted to be and who I wanted to be. Like everyone does, everyone has these dreams, but it's about, getting those cogs moving and actually taking those steps and making those moves. So yeah, I'd just say visualize where you want to be, take those steps, take those risks, and just do it.
Yeah. And to be honest, man, I feel like, everything you just said there, that's something that we really help with, right? Like, just having, I think even 2 days ago, we did a mindset and manifestation call. And, do you want to talk about that? Like, how that helped?
Of course. So I've always been big into sort of mindset and sort of visualizing where I want to be. To be honest, I've always feel quite up and down when it comes to business. I'm so driven by success, and there is those ups and downs, and you will come across that. But it was almost it was made for me. Jumped on the call, and it was mindset and just sort of exactly where you just visualizing your goals. And you've got guys in that call like Dan who are extremely successful. You've got guys in the call that are just starting out, and it helps everyone because I got on there, and it's just reminding you of where you come from, how far you're going to get, and where you want to be in the future. And just having that access to so many guys that are all in different situations that you can just talk to and relate to, because mindset doesn't change if you're making no money, if you're making millions of pounds. Your mindset's the same. Everyone wants to get somewhere. Your goals may be different, but the mindset's the same. Everyone's got the same mindset in this space, and that's what I love the most.
Definitely, man. Yeah, perfect. Look, bro, I think we can probably wrap it up here in a second, but I guess one last question so everyone can get a real good feel for it. If you had to describe Client Capital in 3 words, what would you describe it as?
Oh, I don't think I can sum it up in just 3 words. I mean, I've got a lot to say about client capital, but
Go on, I'll tell you what, give us the whole lot. Don't worry about the 3 words.
cool. I mean, client capital as a whole, I mean, it's definitely the best space out there. I mean, you're going to be skeptical before you join. That's just human nature. But he's got to stop being silly because it'll be the best decision you ever make. Like, I'm not just saying that. I mean, for me, I could have got where I got, but in a very, very, very difficult, and I could not have done it on the time frame I've done it in. Like, everyone wants to make money online. Everyone wants to become successful and become their own bosses per se. But you need that support, especially in an agency space. It's such a lonely space to be in. Like, I do all of this from my office in my house. I'm not in, I'm not anywhere special, and it is lonely. But with a group and the access to those guys, it's not, because you're on calls with people. You can phone them up. You can text them, and I mean, it's just, yeah, it's the best thing. It's just such a good network to be in, and the access and the resources that you've got in that group are really just top notch.
Thank you, bro. Well, look, we'll love you and leave you, Luke. Honestly, you have done incredibly well, man. I'm expecting massive things from you in the future. Like I say this on recording and off recording. It genuinely, Luke is an absolute killer. So when you are inside Client Capital and you have taken that decision to join, make sure you give Luke a shout because he will give you some support. You know, he's been in your shoes, and yeah, it's a pleasure having you inside, man.
Thank you, mate. Really appreciate it.